Hey, what's up? Great to be back with you all today. My name is Mike and grateful to spend a few minutes with you. Man, I love that we're just a bunch of imperfect people on a journey of walking with God, and we are all on different mile markers along this journey. Some of us, we're just starting out. Others been doing it a long time. So no matter where you are, man, we are in this together, and I am so grateful for you, and I pray for you every day. I've said it before on this podcast, but I didn't know God for a long time. I thought he was mad at me, thought he was disappointed in me, even disgusted by me. But then I started looking at the life of Jesus, and that is what began to revolutionize my life. Because Jesus didn't come only to lay down his life so we could be forgiven and free and live forever. That's a big deal. But he also came to show us what God is really like. And when I began to study and read about Jesus, it totally changed my perspective on what God was like. When I heard the things Jesus said, and I saw the way he engaged with people and unconditionally loved them, it revealed to me just how inclusive God is. I mean, Jesus hung out with all kinds of quote-unquote undesirables, showing that there's no such thing as an undesirable in the eyes of God. In fact, the people that were least like Jesus, they liked Jesus, and Jesus liked them, and it gave me hope that he might like me too. I used to help lead a little Bible study out in Ventura, California with a bunch of pretty raw guys, most of them very, very new to the Bible. And we were going through the Gospel of John, which is all about Jesus. And this one guy just blurts out in the middle of our study, uses a cuss word and says, "Man, Jesus is blanking awesome." And I went, yeah, he is. And my prayer is that as we encounter Jesus, you would find Jesus to be awesome too. So I thought for the next few weeks, we could look at some people that encountered Jesus and people who would never be the same. One of the cool things about looking at the people that encountered Jesus face to face is that we can kind of put ourselves in their shoes and see that they were real people like us, people from different walks of life, people from very different backgrounds, heritage, family dynamics, people with real issues, real struggles, real questions, real hopes, real dreams like us. This week, I want to spend our time looking at a guy known as John the Baptist. And not like John the Presbyterian or John the Methodist. Baptist was not his denomination, it's what he did. He was a baptizer. So the term Baptist is stuck with him. And I know that some of you are probably outdoor-loving, minimalistic, nonconformist, free spirit types. That would certainly describe John. Like Jesus, he died when he was around 30. He was cruelly executed by a corrupt politician. And there's not a whole lot written about him, but I believe, in fact, I know that this is going to sound like an exaggeration, but I believe that prior to the arrival of Jesus, this camel hair wearing desert dude was the greatest man who ever lived. Now, I know his resume may not be as impressive as others, and he never really led anything. He never conquered lands or enemy armies. He never wrote a bestseller, never won an Oscar or a Nobel Prize, and never made the cover of Time's Man of the Year. He certainly didn't have the look that typically reflects greatness, but I believe that apart from Jesus, this guy John was the greatest man who ever lived. Now, maybe some of you have read through the Bible might disagree with that and say, "Oh, no way, what about Abraham? What about Moses? What about David, Daniel, Elijah?" To say John is the greatest sounds like something a pastor would say because he's getting ready to talk about him. I am, but I'm convinced that John is the greatest. In fact, I'm pretty positive about this one. Jesus had this to say about John the Baptist in Luke chapter 7, verse 28. "I tell you, among those born of women, there is no one greater than John." Told you so. So what was there about John that elicited that kind of praise from Jesus? I mean, what's it take to live a stellar life? Who or what measures true success? What defines our legacy? How do you become great in the eyes of Jesus? Well, we're going to take the next few days unpacking 4 things from John's brief life that just made him stand out. And I'll give you a clue. Like that ladder we talked about a few episodes back, according to Jesus, greatness is something you and I descend into. So look for some opportunities to be great today. Put your ego on the altar and go serve somebody, and then come back tomorrow and we'll start unpacking the life of John the Baptist. Have a great day today.